Hello Gita scholars. I'll discuss few questions asked by the scholars. So this is number one question. The question is regarding at what age one should start teaching children or anyone apply. So first you have to understand Gita yourself and then start teaching children. What I recommend that there is a secular part in Bhagavad Gita and there is a theological part. My suggestion will be you start teaching children by age of 12 years to 18 years or 20 years till he becomes major and he understands. And that part you can teach in the form of secular education. Why? Because that is a tender age where you might install the information which is not actually relevant. So let them find their own belief system rather than putting your own belief system into their brain. Thereafter, they can decide whichever course they want. But the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is relevant from 12 years to 100 years of age. Right? So we can't say which is ideal, but this is the range. And the message in Gita is different for different individual. Okay, so you can segregate which is the component which is ideal for teenagers, which is a part which is ideal for the 40 years old household person, and which is the part which is ideal for the 70 years of senior citizen. Okay, and as you know that the teaching of 70 years cannot be applicable to the age of 15-year children. So you have to you have to segregate the matter according to the age, and there is something for every age. This is what the question is. Next is, as a beginner of this enlightenment journey with Ram sir, I would like to ask question. Okay, that's done. So this, what is the difference between Vedas and Upanishad content wise? Okay, so one thing you should understand, almost all ancient literature are the compilation, okay, from various sources. So it is similar to the Veda is also compilation of many authors. Okay, if you say Rigveda, it has many authors. Similarly, Bible also is a compilation of many authors. Okay, all religious books are, most of them are compilation of many authors. Now the content wise, if you broadly classify or if you see the inclination of Veda and Upanishad. So Veda are more towards external things. Okay, there is rituals, musics, mantra, and Upanishad is more of philosophical or intellectual exercises. Okay, so these are the two different directions. Although there is little overlap, but broadly Vedas are related to the physical and external activities, and Upanishad are related to the internal activities. This is number one difference. Second difference is Veda are more of related to the community, in which predominantly Grahastha Ashram people, and they are seeking usually something benefit from the God. So for them, it's a God is service provided. So you offer something in a yajna, and God will send rain, food, cattle, free of disease. These were the requirements of the ancient people, and they used to ask. While in case of Upanishad, these are more of people who used to stay in the jungle, and they are called as Aranyak. So these are two little differences, and both uh, ideology is quite different. Vedas are beginning and Upanishad is the next version. So many times some of the Upanishad are criticizing Veda. Same thing in the Bhagavad Gita as well. At some places Bhagavad Gita underestimate Veda. Okay. At some places it considered equal. But uh, Bhagavad Gita does not consider Veda as a superior. Okay, so this is line of differentiation. Which could be the good Bhagavad Gita to read from? Uh, you read from 2-3 sources. Okay, uh, Bhagavad Gita of ISKCON is also good, but their content or explanation is little focused on their marketing. So we should accept their marketing of their organization. Rest everything is good. We can start reading it. I'll show one website where you can read. This is one website, holybhagavadgita.org. So you can read. Better to read from 2-3 sources. One from vernacular language, especially Devanagari, and two in English translation. So that you will get a fair idea, because translations are a little different from different authors. Everybody says that all questions in their life are in Bhagavad Gita. I tried to read so many times, but I lost interest after a few pages how it is useful uh, in modern era, and everything is history. Curious to know. I'll tell you why. If you start reading short notes of medicine, you are going to get confused. Okay. For that, if you are too curious, then you'll have to read details of textbook from where Bhagavad Gita is compiled. And main source of Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad, some part of Quran, some part of Veda, and some part of 6 Hindu philosophies, Sankhya, Yoga, and Vedanta, Mimamsa. That is huge study. But in our lectures, we will make things very simple, because I did all things to understand it. Another problem with difficulty is understanding the terminologies. Okay, as I said, one word can have 10 different meaning. Okay, that's the reason when you read different authors, you will have different version, because everyone use in a different context. Okay? So you have to understand the context of the sentences and context of the relevant era, ancient lifestyle in which it is written. Then it make a difference. Third thing, you need to understand the belief system. Okay, belief system. I'll give an example. You ask a question: do you believe that children are possible, or one woman can give birth to 100 children? Is it possible biologically? Then here comes the rational question. It is not possible. If it is not possible, if this is the truth you consider, then how you can believe 100 children are going to die? Okay, so these things we have to understand, and we have to understand the real meaning, or we can consider as a here practical, where you can use it. So practical component of Bhagavad Gita. Then there is mythological component. Then there is historical. Okay, historical component. in even Ramayana, there are three different components. Historical components mean there is actually a Rama Setu, or there are some signs of Ramayana. Similarly, in Mahabharata, there are some signs that it happened. But historical component in Mahabharata might be just 1 or 2%. Rest might be a mythological component where poet or writer use a dramatization. When you watch this TV serials, you can guess that how the writers or script writers write different dialogues. Same thing must have happened in that area as well. So there is some historical component, thereafter some mythological and the stories, and some practical component in which the author wants to give a take-home message, which is true even today. We have to see that. That is what we have given a name to this Gita. It's a practical Bhagavad Gita, because we are going to focus more on this component, practical component, and less on mythological, historical. Okay. Everything will be clear slowly once you understand the concept. Next is, who is God? Is he Superman who can do what ordinary people can't do, or is it energy? And who is called as Hindu? By birth or because of certain tradition? There are two questions. Who is God is a very big question. Okay, and we will discuss as we go in subsequent lecture. But one truth which I'll tell you, and there cannot be a dispute or little dispute. First truth is, no one knows the God. Okay, no one has seen the God. Okay, actually no one has seen it. Okay, so in what is a God? So first and foremost, which you will have to agree, that God is a concept. Okay, let's say gravity, electricity, these are the concept. Okay, a physical concept and abstract concept. So first undisputable fact is God is a concept. And to explain that concept, ancient people personified that into characters. Okay, for example, Ganga is a mother of Bhishma Pitama. Now here, if you put your simple brain, even if you are not educated, can a river be a mother of a human? If you believe this, yes, then you have to stop your logical mind and start thinking that Rajnikant can jump 100 meters. So you are going into that mode of dramatization, where Chelbal Pandey can kill 100 people in one bullet. Okay, so if your logical mind shut down, then there is no point in explaining. In that cases, there is no further explanation. Explanation can be only if your mind is ready to use common sense and rational, simple common sense. In that case, we will agree that God is a concept, and it has been created in a different characters at the beginning. Okay, at the Rigveda and all Veda says Surya, Earth, Moon, these are the gods. Okay, as of now we don't consider Earth as God or Moon as God, because scientists landed on it, but they were considered as a god. Again, as I said that day, if people say that this book is written by God, you have to raise the question, which language God speaks, whether it is Chinese, Japanese, Sanskrit, Pali, Marathi, Hebrew, Parsi, Arabic, English. If God is all known, that means he knows everything, then why Bible does not mention anything in the China? Why Veda do not mention anything of the South America? These are the questions. Why Bible does not mention anything about Ganesh, Vishnu, Mahesh? Or why the God in the desert speak Marathi or English? He is a well known. So these are the facts. If God is well known or according to scripture, then why hasn't he written like mobile, car, aeroplane or trumpeters? Why he has written about sheep, cattle, horse, cow, donkey, agriculture? These are the questions which we have to answer. If you want to ask, if you don't want to ask, no, then there is no question. So God is a concept. Thereafter it becomes character in the poets and dramas. Thereafter it becomes art in which paints and sculptures, murtis started. Okay? This is a journey of God. And this God is created by human being. Okay? The real God, if at all, it is there. He created human being. But most of us, what we consider as a God, that God is created by the human being. Now, come back to question. Is there any God? Or what is a God? That answer we are going to see it. Secondly, who is Hindu? Is it by birth or follow certain tradition? Bhagavad Gita and ancient scripture do not mention any single word of Hindu. Hindu is recent word, maybe 1,000 year old, probably, or maybe 2,000 year old, when Persian people and Greek people started coming to India, and they used to call the people Hindu, and Hindu is the Indian subcontinent, and the people who are living in Indian subcontinent are called as Hindu. The same way we say Persian, Greek, because they used to live in the Greece, so Greek. For them, we are Hindu. So Hindu is something which coming from outside, and they label as. In ancient era, the religion was based on the Veda, so we can consider it as Vedic religion. Second is Puran, not Quran, Puran. So religion based on the Puran. So if you want to define Hindu, there will be one component, either of one. They believe in a Veda or Puran. So Vedic rituals and God or Puranic rituals and God. At the most, Tantric rituals. So Hindu by and large believe in one of these three philosophies: Vedic, Puranic, Tantric. And what we have custom as of now is the combination of all three. These are three different branches of Hinduism. Okay. In Puranic gods, there is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, okay, and Shaktism. So these are four different again sub branches in the Puranic culture. And then Bhakti movement. These are just revisions of Puranic gods. Fresh gods are not there as such. Recently, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, Sai Baba has entered. So these are now becoming famous. After 1,000 years, Sai Baba might be a little bigger god, senior, and some junior might come. So these are the gods in which Hindu believes. Okay? This is one definition of Hindu. And if you see the definition of Supreme Court, they have interpreted Hinduism as a way of life. Because if someone decide that If you are Hindu, then you have to believe in the one of these gods. Again, this is not true, because when there were Vedic religion, at the same time there were other religion, other philosophies, okay, which do not believe in God, and still they are our ancestors. There are various philosophies in India or in Indian subcontinents which ranges from one God, that is zero God. I'll write down here. Okay, there are different philosophies in the word theology: zero God, one God, two God, three God, and multiple God. You can say now this is polytheism. Okay, zero God religions are not Christianity, it's Buddhism, Jainism, and Taoism, and Shintoism. Shinto is actually polytheist God, but there are religions which do not believe in the God. Buddhism, they don't believe in the God. So we can say this is a zero God religion. Then this second is mono God, monotheist, like Abrahamic religion like Judaism, Christianity, Islam. They believe in single God. Then two God is the Persian religion. They believe in two God. One is bad and one is good, evil and good God. And then third is three God concept. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is a three God concept. And even Christianity, there are certain denominations which believe in three gods, in which God, Son, and Spirit. So trifurcation. And then polytheism, like Hinduism or Greek or many local region. So these are the different theories of God, and accordingly we can classify religion, how many gods they believe. And Hinduism has all of them. Okay, Hindu can be a person who do not believe in any God by definition, because there are many philosophies which do not believe in the God in Hinduism itself. So that is the reason it is very difficult to define Hinduism. So we can consider that if you know Hinduism, you know all region of the world, because starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and multiple, we have all philosophies. Okay, so this is the beauty of Indian religion. And I'll tell you some other day why these religions are more powerful than multiple God or three God. Okay, that will take some other day. Thank you very much. We'll stop here.